right. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy King Gabe here, and we're here to. Wait, what's going on? Nah, okay, nah, that was okay. Yeah, that was me. I was the difference. Now we see the difference. Yeah, which you probably noticed that already, but yeah, the difference between having this ring light and not having it. Let's just say I was recently looking at one of my old live streams when I did version one into a Kroger Force, and ooh, that was dark. And I don't mean like the story being dark. No, I mean like literally, it was dark, literally. So yeah, like the yeah, I couldn't even make my face out on there. It was just let me show you again what I'm talking about. Okay, so if I turn this light off, even though I got the top light on, yeah, I mean you see me on here, but it's like it's dark. I mean, I kind of can make it out a little bit, but I think and then plus I think it was like nighttime when I was shooting it, the live stream, so we didn't have any, the light coming from back there, or well, had the light up here, but yeah, the light was not didn't have as much light as we do now. See, big difference there. So yeah, yeah, that's one thing. I had dropped something there. One thing I'm definitely glad EJ mentioned, about putting up this ring light and getting it. That was a really good constructive criticism because, like I say, it is a like that song say, "I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all the obstacles in my way." Yeah, so I can see clearly now. So yeah, and like I say, I know I call, like I call Case my big sister. I call he's like my little brother. But just because somebody is younger than you doesn't mean that they might know something that you don't. But I mean, that's anything. I mean, usually we look to. I mean, it's normal. No, and I mean, it is normal to have that mode of thinking, like, well, he's older, he knows more than me. But sometimes, depending on what the information is, there are some things that one person may know more than you, and just so happen that they're younger than you, but maybe they know more about this than you, because maybe this is something that they've been doing, and you just didn't know about it. Sort of like with like say our parents and grandparents. There's a lot of stuff that they can teach us, especially the basics of life. Do good. Treat others well. The basic morals, and keeping the word of God in us and everything, especially at church and stuff like that. And then, like you take my grandparents for example, they probably could, they could probably school us on farming and stuff like that. Because trust me, I don't have no idea about how to do no farming. Uh, yeah, they like, well, Gabe, go milk the cow. Uh, okay, well, I know I pulled the udders to do it, but yeah, I would still probably be somewhat clueless, or yeah, ain't no telling how I might react, or catch the chicken, or other stuff that's done on the farm. That's probably gonna, yeah, probably having some question marks around my head. Uh, but Granny Big Papa, they would definitely know what to do, especially Granny, because she would really know. Um, I'm not. I think Big Papa might know a little something there, but I know Granny would know more so on that. I know Big Papa would probably know about, like, not in today's time, but like a lot of how business transactions and stuff like that, coming from, before we had all the fancy technology and stuff, and all the new systems and stuff we got. But he would know a lot about what we had before we got all this there. So yeah, like I said, there is a not there. So yeah, like I said, but in today's time, yeah, there's with all the new stuff. that would be where people like us would come in. And even with that, we don't know everything, but we know what we know, and that's more than nothing, which would be a little the little what we do know of this of the new age and everything would be a help to our parents and grandparents. So yeah, like I say, just like they help us with stuff we don't know. Um, it's the same vice versa. Stuff that they don't know. That's what we if we know it, then yeah, say hey, let me help you out there. That's um that's the way. Yeah, we help each other out regardless of the age and one reason I point that out before we go into the story and everything. I'm rambling, but one reason I point that out because just I know I'm not saying everybody's like this, but I know there you got some people like in my case that are older than me that will hold their I guess what they know that I may not know, but hold it over your head there. And when I say hold over your head, like yeah, kind of be as some people would say, kind of snooty with it, and almost kind of look down on you sometimes, or if maybe not so much look down on you, but be real prideful of it there, or and feel like, well, yeah, I know that, and I know this. Yeah, you can't tell me nothing. Ow. It's like, it's like, look, I'm older than you, so I know this better than you. So, yeah, that I had yeah, like I say, one of my um, former friends of mine was like that there. A couple, few of them was kind of like that. Like, it was sometimes I tried because of the fact I was younger, and I tried, I would be like, well, maybe it might do something like this, and maybe what I was suggesting, um, even if it was something minor, I mean, maybe just something that, hey, I think it'd be better if you do it like this, or maybe trying to advise them on something, or just telling them about something in general, and be like, no, no, Gabe, you don't know that I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. So yeah, like I say, some cases, yeah, like I say, some cases not always looking down on the person, but sometimes that pride will get to your head to the point in where you say, yeah, if you're not careful, you'll end up thinking you're a big shot and nobody can tell you nothing there. So yeah, that's the thing you got to be real careful about, and it can happen to anybody, regardless of age. But yeah, I've experienced it a lot from ones that are older than me, and like I say, even people, and it can happen even with people that are close to you, because like I say, we all make mistakes, and sometimes we make that mistake and get a little big headed there. So yeah, we got to be careful of that there, like I say, and even I myself have been a victim of that myself, with certain things that were told to me, and I, didn't really take heed to it. So, like I say, it's just a little something. It's a little something we have to remind ourselves of that. There is all that is. Don't there's a lot that you know, but don't think you know everything, because no mortal on this earth really knows everything. We say everybody knows something that another person doesn't. So that's why, like, God put us all here to help one another out, regardless of how old we are or how young we are. So we, like you say, so just a little something to keep in mind there. So all right, let's get on into this there. After that little rambling speech. Oh yeah, I meant to finish this book last time in part two, book 11, but apparently, yeah, I don't know what was gonna. I guess I was kind of going out. It was kind of caught me off guard, to be honest. Matter of fact, because I think I left off at chapter eight, not book eight, chapter eight. But I'm gonna go back. Uh, oh boy. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, see, okay, I'm gonna go. Yeah, okay, I do remember leaving off with the you yelled at us there, but since I was kind of going in and out, I'm gonna go back a bit. Uh, to where they got ready to transform and everything. Well, actually, they had transformed, but they were now introducing themselves there. So I'm gonna go back to chapter 6. In the last two parts leading up to this chapter that I'm about to start it, everybody got, you had, as I pointed out, you had several, you had up to, I think, 13 Dream League members, all of which were going to the same school. Naomi was obviously the youngest of the group, so she's the only one that's in a different class from the rest of them, being in kindergarten, I think, or yeah, kindergarten, and while the rest of them were all in the third grade class with Samuel and Brian, as well as Julie and Calvin and Melody. We had the Atlantean sisters, Bruno, of course, he was already there too. And Riley and Zoe, and also, yeah, I think that was pretty much it. Yeah, that was all of them. Yeah, the Atlantean sisters, I think, were pretty much the at the moment the newbies, them and Naomi. But everybody else, like we started off with Samuel and Brian at the school already from the very beginning of the series. Then Julie joined with them along with Melody and Calvin, and then right around that same time we had Riley and Zoe joined in, and and now, like I say, the Atlantean sisters and Naomi, which, like I say, now you got right at 13 Dream League members in this same school. Um, most and only one is in a different class from the others, along with some more new students that aren't Dream League members, but new students in general. Angela in the class with the third graders, and her little brother Adrian in the kindergarten class, and so yeah, that's what we're off to. Everybody got settled in. There was a new roommate system in the hero tree and everything. Now they're on this field trip coming up to this museum. Kind of got a little chit chat amongst them on the bus. Some other students like Caroline were introduced. I think she's probably been now. I'm not sure. I'm gonna assume that she probably not right at the same time that Angela is a new student, but probably I would say probably somewhere between probably shortly after Calvin and them joined the school there. So yeah, that because there was a mention about how she was always trying to get next to Calvin, just like a lot of the girls were, especially after Calvin had this new haircut. Sort of like the rest of them getting all these new dues and stuff. So yeah, though we have that, and they had a piece of the gravity straw at the museum, and now this little fairy that's on the back of the book right here, her and a little hamster friend of hers are trying to steal the gravity straw. The piece of the gravity straw is at the museum, so it's up to the Dream League to stop them. Like hero watches, heroic transformation, and now bring us up to chapter 6. So that was the last time on Heroes of Dreams. Angela was in hot pursuit of the flying hamster. Adrian trailed behind as best as he could. Once the hamster, excuse me, got to the entrance hall, Angela had gotten close enough to jump up and grab its furry tail. But once, however, the hamster activated his rocket thrusters uh, and flew out the museum and high into the sky, suddenly she slipped and started to fall to the ground. Got to give Angela props for holding on as long as she did, though. I mean, yeah, that's kind of almost like Black Widow catching on to that Chitari ship, like Mariah's here, and catching on to something like that at light speed without her arms coming out of her sockets there. So, yeah, somebody actually pointed that out, that Black Widow had to have some type of enhancement on her similar to what Captain America had to be a super soldier there. However, suddenly she slipped and started to fall to the ground. She screamed, fearing it was over for her until Power Play flew in to catch her. And hello to not sure who you are in here, but what's up? How you doing? Yeah, just make sure you give a like there. That way you two can know that this Heroes of Dream What If is doing good there. Yeah, put a little like in that. Put a little like on this stream here. Also let YouTube know that you like what we're starting off with here. Yeah. Power Play flown in to catch her. You okay? Thanks, Power Play. Angela blushed at the sight of Power Play. That I am now, thanks to you. Good. Hang on tight there. Power Play paused time around the hamster for Star Striker to go up and disable its rocket thrusters, grab it and unpaused and fast forwarded him and Star Striker to quickly fly back to the ground. They set Angela and the hamster down. Get to the bus for safety, Power Play told Angela. Okay. Angela kissed Power Play's cheek and ran toward the bus. Yeah. Power Play blushed for a minute there until he noticed the rest of the Dream League had showed up. Everyone cheered as they surrounded the hamster. The Dream League noticed that their costumes had changed. They decided when they get to the Hero Tree afternoon, they will find out more about this. So now we get this little roll call. All right, whoever you are, started Star Striker. You're facing the Dream League now. Swiftly striking like a star, Star Striker. And also the picture where Power Play got a little kiss. Right on target. Honorable Samurai, Sword Girl. Strong but gentle, Bubbalina. Clever and charming, Phantom X. Speeding jolt of the wild, Dash Tail. Shining light of the sun, and real bright on this book because of the ring light, Sun Risha. I can get. I think you can see it now. Oh boy. Okay, I think yeah. See it a little bit there. Yeah. The chilling frost of the night fox, joyous smiles Holly, changing auras Alicia, mighty agile Gina, sparkling like the diamond's crystal, and conquering champion Power Play. Yeah, I thought I'd read them first that way. Now I can show you the pictures there. Yeah, Night Fox, Holly. Yeah, Alicia. Gina. I think a lot of it has to do with with some of the coloring on some of them up against this light here. Then Crystal and Power Play. And it looks like things are about to escalate as we see the little fairy in front of us here, Rocket here, Dora. Dream League ready. Time to hand over what you've taken from the museum, said Star Striker. We can't do that, said a voice. And yep, that's the way Dora, because Dora was a character pretty much little Nisha. Well, she's not so little now. She was back then. And I think by the time I got to book 11 here, I think I want to say, let me see what year this came in. Just a second. what year this came? 2017, right after, and yeah, definitely right after the anniversary book. Yep, right after the anniversary book. So yeah, 2017. So basically 8 years ago. Yeah, 2017, and I say that. Let's see, because I remember we started. Me and Christina, we in 2010. I think that's when we took over the church nursery. Became the ministry leaders there for the church nursery, and and I know right now Nisha is 18 and in college already. So she graduated this past from she graduated from high school just this past May, and is already at Louisiana Tech. So I mean 18. So yeah, 8 years ago she was in middle school when this was written here. So yeah, now, you probably wouldn't believe it looking at her back then, because one thing me and Nisha kind of had in common, when I was growing up as a kid, yeah, I sort of felt like a little runt amongst a lot of the kids, especially when I got to like middle and high school. Because I got to middle school, especially high school, it was even more noticeable. I'm 14 years old, and there were other freshmen 14 years old like me that were more that seemed like they were still older than me by appearance there, because they was real tall and built and everything more so than I was. And I still looked like I had just hopped out of which I mean technically I did, but yeah, like hopped out. I looked more like I was still about to start middle school rather than high school. From had got a little baby face there. Matter of fact, when I started working at Kroger at 17, they thought I was too young to be working up there. Some of the customers, they thought I was 13. So yeah, so yeah, Nietzsche kind of had that similar thing going. She looked a lot younger than than what her age is now. Of course, you could probably tell now that yeah, she's a full grown lady there. Or some of you might think she's a teenager if you were to see her now, even though she's grown. But yeah, but like I say, but so this was written back when she was in middle school, and her character was wrote in here as a little toddler fairy. Then, of course, not right before COVID, she actually took the character just like how Christina took Bubblina, and tried called herself trying to do a story for Dora, and made her a little older in her story, and only put one book out for Dora. But yeah, then yeah, I guess she started. I guess because she was starting to get into other stuff there, but she did get a little taste of writing there. So yep, so I remember kind of helping her out with it, with her, getting her, getting what she was coming up with, because she did come up with everything that's in the book, and I think I gave her, illustrated what she wrote, stuff like that. So all right, so just then the bouncing balls from earlier showed up, knocking around the entire Dream League. Then a fairy with cat ears and a tail holding a doll showed up and used her magic wand to repair the hamster's rocket thrusters in order for them to fly off. She also made one of the exhibit rockets appear, magically placed the Dream League inside of it, and caused it to fly towards space. We win, Dream League, said the fairy. The rocket was about to leave Earth's atmosphere until it got blasted apart by a light energy beam. After that, a barrier encased the Dream League, and they noticed the masked angel. You guys okay? He asks. Do 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 do. Yes, they all reply. Good. Then teleport back immediately, said the masked angel, and he flew off. Dun dun dun. Sword Girl quickly teleported everyone outside the museum just in time for Power Play to rewind the fairy and hamster back down as they were trying to fly off. Enough games, said Sword Girl. She used her psychic power to pull the object away from the hamster. No, shouted the hamster, trying to pull it back. Oh, wait. No! But Sword Girl teleported it out of her hands and in front of Target. I'll get it back inside, said Target, picking it up. The fairy threw a fit and flew at Target, screaming, "No fair!" Bubbleina fired a bubble to bounce the fairy back as Target started to fly off on his Target saucer. "I'm sorry, but you can't take something that isn't yours," Bubbleina said in a mother like way. "Says you," said the fairy. She used the wand to make the bubble bigger until it exploded, blowing everybody back. It even knocked Target off his saucer. He dropped the object. It was quickly picked up as the Dream League got up. Crystal didn't like this at all. You know, I like fairies and all, but you just crossed the line, she said, grabbing a piece of steel and making the exterior of her hand become like steel. "Steel fist attack," she said, charging at the fairy. They got the masked angel there. And Sword Girl was trying to get the gravity straw from the little hamster there. They will. I know I did mention who the fairy was, Dora, but yeah, the rest of them going to introduce themselves in a little bit. The bubbles, then the bubble explosion. Oh boy! And there's another couple other pictures. Yeah, not really going so well for the Dream League here. Yeah, and of course, and Hastem shows up. "Bye bye," said the fairy. Then the fairy and the hamster disappeared in a puff of smoke. They, where'd they where did they go? Asked Phantom Max. Target noticed the object gone after he got up. "I don't know, but we gotta find them and get that item back to the museum." He contacted Eero. "Eero, we need Hastem to help us track some thieves." "Teleporting now," said Eero. Hastem appeared in no time. And in no time, they found where the fairy and the hamster went and teleported to Dream League there, or like with the Power Rangers. But now, Chapter 7: Mall Mischief. The Dream League found themselves in an old abandoned outlet mall in Minden, Louisiana. "All right, you two," shouted Star. "Show yourselves." Suddenly, Star and Target's battlesuits started acting on their own, causing them to attack Gina and Crystal. "Hey, guys, what's wrong with you all?" asked Crystal. "Like, hey, have you lost your minds?" asked Gina. "It's not us," replied Star. "Something's controlling our suits," said Target. Almost kind of remind me of a scene from Digimon Adventure 1 when, yeah, and I noticed there's a real bright light over here. The sun's real bright here. Yep. So, but in Digimon Adventure 1, the Dark Master Saga, there was when they met Puppetmon for the first time, before they saw Puppetmon, uh, two of the Digimon, Garudamon and Where Garulamon, went to going at each other. And it was like, "Hey, can't you guys just chill out and take a break for a minute?" "It's not us! Our bodies are doing this by themselves!" "All by themselves, huh?" Then suddenly all the Digidestined were moving on their own. Whoa! "We're string pup. And someone's operating us." "Well, aren't you a little smarty pants?" And then that's when Puppetmon showed up, and even Marionette Izzy typing on the computer to look him up. "Why don't you look me up on your fancy computer?" Yeah. And then there was a funny thing. When he told who he was, "Puppetmon, get him mad. He's another mega level Digimon. Get him mad and he'll bop you with his hammer." Of all the rude things, if anybody, you should bop yourself with that hammer for how ridiculous. Look at that hat. Oh boy. All right, so, huh? But Holly, can you get Hastem to figure out what's going on?" said Bubbleina. "I can, but one of you has got to hold him down," said Holly. "Allow me," said Night Fox. "Freezing frost chill." She held out her hands and released a shower of frost that started freezing Star and Target, but it wasn't enough. Okay. Kinesis hole, said Sword Girl, using her psychic power to prevent Star and Target's bodies from moving. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, it's really good that they have one another, that they're able to help one another out here. There, because yeah, so like to say about the Avengers, we work better as a team now. Holly took Hastem to analyze the problem, but then a teddy bear jumped on Holly's head and covered her eyes. Vanta Max and Alicia tried to help Holly get the bear off, but they got hit by the two bouncing balls from earlier. Then Sunrisha and Bubblina tried to help, but their shoes turned into dancing shoes that matched their outfits. And on that note, the song Dance Dance All Night played on the mall speakers, causing them both to dance. Then the lights went out and spotlights came on Star and Target, who were freed from what was controlling the battle suits, while the dancing shoes appeared on everyone, making them all dance. I can dance, 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 dance all night. All night. Dance, dance all night. But like Medea's class reunion when like, what make you shout, Brown? Oh, something like church music. Jesus, 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 Jesus. I can dance, 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 dance all night. All night. Then he says something else, which is not really for kids. And then like, you now that last part wasn't no gospel music. You dance it, you shouted anything, Brown. So, oh boy. So a few so a few minutes later, the Dream League heard the laughter of the fairy and the hamster and two other friends on the mall speakers. You guys look so funny, said the fairy. Is it okay if we join the Max the hamster? But, hold on a second, said the fairy. She asked her doll. Should we dance with the big kids? She paused a moment. Okay. Almost like Johnny talking to Plank and Ed and Eddie. Okay. So they appeared in front of the Dream League along with two Finian aliens dressed like cowboys and started dancing too. Once the song ended, an audience of dolls and teddy bears appeared and applauded. Yeah, these I don't think these. Yeah, obviously these are not really, they're not evil or criminals or anything. They're just a little kid, well, toddlers to be exact. So basically this is pretty much a game to them. Yeah, a toddler fairy, a toddler hamster, and two toddler aliens there, frog aliens to be exact. The fairy took a bow and said, "Thank you, thank you. You've all been a good audience." Okay, who are you guys and what is the meaning of all this? Asked Power Play demandingly. We would tell you if you ask nicely, said the fairy. And to do that, you must say please, said the hamster. She demonstrated. Please tell us who you are and what is the meaning of all this. Sword Girl became furious and shouted, "Now see here! We don't have time to play any more of your silly little games." The fairy and the hamster zipped into a corner, clung to each other nervously while crying, and they both said, "Oh boy." Yeah, this is not Sword Girl's day. Or probably not any of their day, but yeah, obviously Sword Girl was not taking well to this the most out of all of them. Sort of like Raphael out of the Ninja Turtles there. When he, of course, said the other word for darn, yeah, and kept going over and over saying it too. So yeah, that part when he said you yelled at us, I was actually thinking of a scene from SpongeBob, No More Tears, when when he dropped the Krabby Patty and Mr. Krabs said, "Hey SpongeBob, okay, I'll come back later." I didn't know the screen fairy. SpongeBob, will you? I do the screen with the screen. Grammy, Patty, nothing. I do the Grammy, Patty, nothing. What is it now? You yelled at me. That was what I was thinking when I wrote that line for Dora. chapter Chapter 8: Return of the Hunters. I think this was. I know that was mentioned in a previous book. Some killer hunters, some little robots there. The Fenians comforted the alien and the hamster. I mean, the hamster and the fairy. Sorry. And Bubblina held Sword Girl back and said, "Let me try, Sword Girl." She walked toward them and said in a gentle tone, it's sort of a reference to Christina when sometimes she would, when me and her would have, with like some of the kids in the nursery be crying over something, and we'd be trying to, get them to calm down there. There. It's okay. We're not going to hurt you, okay? Can you please tell us who you guys are? After a while of comforting them, the fairy got up along with the hamster to introduce themselves. The fairy said, "My name is Dora, and this is my doll, Strawberry Sapphire." The hamster revealed her true face from behind the hamster suit. "My name is Steelpuff." And the Fenians were Zine and Zine. And this is them right here. We got two people in here. Guess y'all probably enjoying your lunch while watching this there. Yeah. They'll probably give me a little something to eat in a little bit after this there. Okay then, said Gina. So where did you all come from? Before they could answer, a swarm of small spear-shaped robots with flashing red lights broke inside. Dora, Steelpuff, Zine, and Zine got scared and clung to Bubblina. I'm guessing that those things are not friendly, said Bubblina. You guess right, said Nightfox. Those are Killanites. They hunt and destroy anyone with special powers like my mother. Then they take the powers for themselves. And they're scary, exclaimed Dora. Yeah, they were mean and attacked us while we were playing together, said Steelpuff. All right then, Bubblina. Get them to safety while we take care of the Killanites, commanded Star. I'm on it, said Bubblina. Dora, Steelpuff, Zine, come with me. So we got toddler superheroes, yeah. Almost kind of like the little heroes that Raven had to deal with in an episode of Teen Titans there. As Bubblina escorted the four-way from the area, more killer hunters popped up in front of them and started firing their lasers. Bubblina shielded them with a bubble shield. Sword Girl created a psychic barrier to shield the rest of the Dream League as the other killer hunters started shooting their lasers. We got no choice but to stay and fight, said Star. Right, said the Dream League. Dream League, attack! The Dream League went into battle against the Killanites, and they successfully destroyed them with their combo attacks. Say, Star Laser Blade Strike! Said Star, throwing his Star Sword like a boomerang through the killer hunters and blasting them with both of his Star Lasers. Oh boy. The killer Sword Girl, Nightfox, and Target prepared for a triple attack. Target fired a lot of arrows from his target bow toward the ceiling. Sword Girl stopped the arrows in place with her psychic powers, as well as teleporting her swords and daggers with the arrows. Then Nightfox froze them in a block of ice and jumped up and struck the ice rapidly with a fox javelin. Archery Blizzard Blades, said Target, Nightfox, and Sword Girl as ice shards, daggers, and swords and arrows rained down, dismantling the killer hunters that they hit. Man, that's quite a combo there. There's the scary killer hunters. bling, 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 bling. Kind of remind with the little glowing red. I know it don't. I know it's completely different, but to me, it's going to make me think of the Crybots because I'm kind of imagining them saying doing the bling bling from Power Rangers SPD. Yeah, that's all them in action against these killer hunters there. Yep, yep, and that's an actual picture of an abandoned mall in the background there that they're in. Aurora Aurora Pulse, said Holly. Shining Beam, said Sunreacher. Bubble Barrage, said Bubbleina. Acceleration Burst, said Powerplay. He sped up the girl's attacks for more impact. Oh, okay. That's a good way to use the time flow. More of the this an example of it right there. Yeah. More of the killer hunters surrounded Phantom X. Wait. Wait. The killer hunter stopped as he pulled out a hat and his X one. That's why I really wish, looking back at this, I really wish I had kept his outfit the same like he had at least in the anniversary special. Because yeah, it made I mean he got his hair cut, but he had the hat and a more magician like look, which it was actually kind of making him look more like Tuxedo Mask, but that still sort of made sense with the magician motif there. Yeah, especially with the hat there. So, why is I guess to make him look cool, like Green Lantern style. But yeah, I mean it's not a bad look, but just doesn't really fit that magician motif there. Yeah. So he rolled. So he pulled out a hat in his X one and he rolled up his sleeves and said, "As you can see, there's nothing up my sleeves and there's nothing in the hat. So forget the hat." Sort of like what Fred Sanford said about the Whopper Choppers. After he made a giant box appear, he said, "Watch and be amazed as I make two beautiful young women appear from this box." The Killer Knights watched as Phantom X draped the sheet over the box, tapped it with his wand, and said, "Magic surprise!" When he pulled the sheet off, revealing Crystal and Alicia in place of the box ready for battle. "Sparkling splash! Sparkling slash," said Crystal. "Burning blaze," said Alicia. Crystal swooped in, slashing the Killer Knights apart with her crystal claw gloves. Oh boy, she Wolverine now. And Alicia did the same with her wild axe combined with a burning temperature around it. Ooh, girl. Ooh, girl got an axe up here. "Oops," said Phantom X. "I guess I should have mentioned that I would make two. I guess, oh, he said earlier, as I make a beautiful young woman appear. And now he says, oops. I guess I should have mentioned that I would make two beautiful young women appear because I'm a stud." "You really think we're beautiful?" they said together. And this is the picture of that there. That box that he's floating over is actually a box that's here at the house too. It's a container actually that I photoshopped in there. Well, I actually didn't Photoshop. Um, I actually just because I was still using Microsoft Word, but there was a thing on it similar to Photoshop that I was able to kind of use and get stuff like that in place there. But when I get to Photoshop, yeah, you'll notice a big difference in book 12, though. Yeah, Crystal and Alicia there. Claw gloves, big axe. Also, that line when Phantom X says, because I made two beautiful young women appear because I'm a stud. That was actually from Justice League Unlimited when Flash was with Wonder Woman. They were finna eat together, and Hawkgirl showed up. He's like, "I thought we were having lunch today. Is it Tuesday already? Silly me, planning lunch with two beautiful women at the same time." And he was trying to get them to get along with each other because they kind of had this little grudge with each other. It's almost like your little brother trying to get his two sisters to get along with each other. And then they just both left. And Flash was like, I had dinner with two beautiful women at the same time because I'm a stud. And then he mashed his fingers on some mashed potatoes. um, of course I do, said Vanamix. The girls sighed in content. Meanwhile, Dashtail started bashing through the killer knights with his squirrel staff and ran through them like a pinball. Dashball tilter. Bing, 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 tilt. Dash, the dashball tilter. Bing. Dora and her friends were really impressed. Suddenly, they noticed the killer knights were rebuilding themselves along with something else. Everyone, said Steel Puff on the Dream League's communicators, if the battle in here goes on a little longer, this place could collapse on us. We have to find a way out, said Star. Wait a minute, said Target. Steel Puff, you controlled Star's suit and my suit earlier, right? Steel Puff looked down and said nervously, yes, I did, but I was just doing it for fun. Sorry. But it's okay, said Target, because I'm gonna need you and Hastem to shut those killer knights down now. Hastem hopped on Steel Puff's shoulders, and she said, "Oh, okay, I'll try my best." Like, what can we do to help? Asked Dora. Another reference to SpongeBob when he said when Squidward was trying to make a fancy restaurant for Squilliam, and SpongeBob said, "What can I do?" Star and Target thought for a moment, and Star said, "Try to see if you can gather the killer knights into one big clump. That will make it easy for Steel Puff to shut them down." Okay, said Dora, and she pulled out her lasso to gather the killer knights together into one big clump. The Zine and Zine literally stretched out to help them gather, say around to help her gather them. It was a little difficult, but in no time they succeeded. And with Hastem's help, Steel Puff deactivated the Killer Knights. After that, Sword Girl teleported everyone outside the mall. After they got out, they noticed a sign indicating that the mall had been condemned. Like, well, guys, shall we? Said Star. We shall, said Powerplay. The Dream League gathered their energy together to form the Hero Team Sword. In the name of Jesus, you are all defeated, they said. Hero Team Sword Strike. Imagine how powerful this must be since you got more members here. With that said, the Dream League struck all the Killer Knights, obliterating them. Everyone celebrated. And then Powerplay paused time in order for Dora, Steel Puff, Zine, and Zine to explain to the Dream League why they took the object from the museum. So, got the sword back here. And Dora with her little lasso. Yeehaw! She's a cow. She's the fairy cow. She's the cat fairy cow girl. Chapter 9, A Cosmic Conclusion. Zine began. It all started some time ago back at the orphanage back home. You mean the planet Phineas? Asked Powerplay. Phineas? Asked the rest of the Dream League. Yeah, remember when you guys got trapped in that virtual game by Backbyte? Said Powerplay. The Dream League nodded as Powerplay continued. Well, my parents told me that when that happened, they and our friend Nose got sent to the planet Phineas and met with the people there called Finians, a group of frog-like aliens, like Zine and Zine here. So these guys are aliens, asked Star? Yep. But what about Dora and Steel Puff? Asked Target. I'm a Mercurian orphan from the planet Mercury, answered Steel Puff. Ah, and I'm a fairy, said Dora, from, I really don't know where I'm from. Everybody went like, oh my God. Yeah, really, how do you not know where you come from? Like, wait a minute, exclaimed Dora. I like strawberry. The Dream League looked puzzled as Dora questioned her doll. Do you know where we came from? Dora held her doll to her ear to listen. And no, this isn't Dora the Explorer as a little baby. Just to clear that up there. Nobody else heard the doll talk as Dora was saying, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, okay. Then Dora said to the Dream League, mm, she doesn't know either. Dora laughed nervously as Sword Girl shouted, how can you not know where you come from? Dora jumped behind Star and Steel Puff jumped behind Target, both of them trembling in fear at Sword Girl's outburst. Bubblina glared at Sword Girl's say, Sword Girl, try to calm down for their sake. Sword Girl sighed as Zine asked, are you always like this? Say, yeah, our teacher always says I'm fine, said Sword Girl. I'm fine. Zine continued, oh boy. Well, they are toddlers. She says that the first step on the road to recovery is admitting that you have a problem. Denial will only make it worse. Sword Girl got really mad and started marching towards Zine and Zine, saying, you want to see worse, you little toads? Nightfox quickly jumped in front to block her while emitting a cool, relaxing frost breeze and said, Sword Girl, please calm down and take a very deep breath. They, yeah, and I said earlier she's emitting a relaxing frost breeze. She paused a moment to allow Sword Girl some space to breathe in the cool breeze. After that, Naomi explained to her, look, they're obviously younger than us, and probably even younger than me. So so we really got to be patient with them in order to learn about what they know and what's going on, okay? Yeah, especially being toddlers. Sword Girl took another breath, placed her hand on her head, and responded, okay, okay, I'm sorry. It's just been a really rough. It's just been really rough the past few days leading up to now. It's okay, girl, said Gina. I've had a lot of moments like that myself. Great. Now that you've admitted to the problem, now all you have to do is started Zine. But Banamex fired a magic blast at Zine that stung him like a little bee, like a bee sting. Zine jumped up in pain, and when he looked at Banamex said, "Oops, my bad." Anyway, what was you saying? What was that you were saying about your? What was that about your home? You were saying? Oh, oh, Banamex. Thank you, buddy. Zing glared at for a minute at Banamex as Zine glared at Banamex for a minute as Zine recovered from the blast. Once Zine turned away to continue the story that Zine had started, Banamex winked at Sword Girl and she grinned back. Zine continued, well, back at the orphanage on our planet, we had learned that our different powers and we learned about our different powers and ability. One day Zine and I were on a field trip to the science lab on the planet Mercury. That's where they met me, said Steel Puff. Wow, a galactic field trip, said Sunrisha. Wonder what that would be like. It's a lot of fun, said Z. Yeah, like this one time. Can we please get back to the story, please? Said Sword Girl ticked off. I'm really not in the mood right now. Now she know how Emily felt in that little short there. Well, that video actually. Fine, said Z with an attitude. I'll continue, said Steel Puff. I was also visiting the lab with my orphanage during lunchtime. I hung out with Zine and Zine and then I got hit with a pie. That's when I saw Dora and she challenged us to a game of tag. After that, we all chatted with her about our day and stuff. Then this portal showed up and sent us to a place where we met those robots you guys call Killanites. The scary robots, shouted Dora, clinging to Starmore. Very scary. Yes, they were, continued Steel Puff. We tried to defend ourselves, but they did something to put us to sleep. And when we woke up here on your Earth, I was inside this suit that you see now, which I which I assume allows you to control any form of technology," said Holly. "Yeah," said Steel Puff. "So why did you steal that object from the museum?" said Bubblina. "The suit led me to it. The suit led me and the others to it," explained Steel Puff. "It showed me images of some kind of tank that it was attached to, along with another alien, I think." "What does the other alien look like?" asked Target. Steel Puff's suit instantly showed the image what appeared to be Backbite. The Dream League gasped. "Like, that must mean that the object is a piece of Backbite's gravity straw," said Powerplay. The Dream League gasped again, and Zine said, "Wait a minute, aren't straws used for drinking?" Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too when Antonio came up with this idea of the gravity straw. we we don't know why he calls it that, but it is dangerous, said Star. Backbite almost destroyed this planet, and if he gets that thing and if it gets reassembled in the wrong hands, it could happen again. "Then we should tell the museum to let us keep it in the hero tree for safety," said Sword Girl. "Well, what about Dora, Steelpuff, Zine, and Zine?" said Dashdale. "Shouldn't we find a way to get them back to their homes?" "There is only one way they'll be safe," said a voice. And now, Chapter 10, Dream League Database Files Update on some new recruits. Friday, November 15, 2011, 5 p.m. Giro told the Dream League to look after Dora, Steelpuff, Zine, and Zine in order to keep them safe while gathering the other pieces of the gravity straw. Dora, almost like gathering something like the Shikon Jewel or the Infinity Stones or stuff like that. Dora became Samuel's little sister. Steelpuff became Brian's little sister. Zine became Calvin's little brother, and Zine became Bruno's little brother. The four took on human form and got updated to the Dream League's database. Dream League member number 14, civilian, say Dora, also, which will now in civilian form will be known as Nia Princeton. Age 3, birthday June 7, 2008. Female, of course, various abilities, various magic with an arsenal, fairy wand, lasso, and her strawberry sapphire doll. And that's her, along with her fairy picture. That's the picture in civilian form. Her doll also looking human as well. Almost like a mini her that she's holding. "Hey, how you doing? What's up, my? Hey, welcome in the not showing up at you here, but I see where you commented here. What's up? What's up?" So say her it's almost like a mini her, kind of like Molly from the Big Comfy Couch, kind of. Dream Dream League member number 15, civilian name Mimi Robertson, which is now known, which of course we know is Steel Puff, also age 3, birthday March 31st, 2008, same as mine. Uh, Female, abilities able to control any form of technology. Her battle suit and various weapons are her arsenal. Dream League member number 16, civilian name, say Franklin Waynes, who is known as Zine in his alien form. Also age 3, born January 1st, 2008. Uh, Male, of course, and his abilities, stretching, bouncing, and shape shifting. Doesn't have an arsenal. Doesn't have anything in his arsenal yet. There, I'll show the pictures in just a minute. Say, Dream League member number 17, Thomas is a Zine. His civilian name is Thomas Rogers. Age 3, October 1st, 2008 is his birthday. Kind of, it's kind of odd. I didn't put. Okay, I guess they're not exactly twins, but okay. Okay, well, anyway, October 1st, 2008, male, of course. Same abilities as as Zine, stretching, bouncing, and shape shifting. No arsenal yet, but updates processing. And soon to come, little kind of a little post credit scene here. The tall, dark, sinister man from before received another source of energy as three of his followers arrived. Report, said the man. The killer knights failed the mission, master, said one of the followers. A group called the Dream League dismantled them along with help from former prisoners. The man thought a moment. Well, it's time for a different approach. Ooh. Little mystery there that's possibly coming up had this continued. So yeah, you got Mimi, also known as Steel Puff, and you see her alien form, and then also her battle suit and everything. Yeah, and then of course Zine, yeah, Zine, Franklin Williams there, both human and alien form there. Kind of make me think of the Tibble twins as frogs there, and Zine, also known as Thomas Rogers in civilian form there. And of course, you got the mystery villain that's coming up. Sort of kind of remind me of I know like a male version of Serena with the dark shadows in front of them there. Yep. And this was and this let me read this little message here from yours truly, King Gabe. Hello, readers. I hope you enjoyed Book 11. As always, to give thanks to God for giving me this inspiration and imagination to write this. Almost like Tyler Perry. It is through God's Son, Jesus Christ, that all this is possible. I want to thank three friends of mine for the inspiration of for three of the new characters. Lanisha for the ideal of the fairy Dora. Anyone who's still wondering what Dora came from in the story, that concept will be explained in book 12. Yeah. So there is a book 12 coming. It did get book 12 did get published. Second is Camille Alford. That's Nisha's little friend there, and she's in. So Nisha, and I know Nisha is in college now and graduated. Camille is in her last year of high school. So yeah, after this year, Camille will be going to college. I think I heard she's supposed to be going like New Orleans, something like that there, or Baton Rouge there. They answer. So they first anyone and oh wait. I want to thank them for oh yeah. So second there is Camille Alford, the inspiration of Steel Puff, and third Angela Pierre for the inspiration of Angela Adams. God rest her soul there. And I have to apologize for Calvin Wayne to Calvin Wayne's known as Vanamek because I realized when I wrote book 8, I wrote about him enjoying a sausage dog with the boys, and it occurred to me that he's part Jewish and doesn't eat pork. So I'm sorry for that error there, Calvin. Yeah, and I was like, so yeah, there was a little error there. That whole thing of not eating pork. And then I mentioned about the book about that me and Christina wrote, The Journey of Love, about me and Christina for the adults, of course, or parents there. And I actually Christina and I actually did. We have a video where we did talk about that book, Journey into Our Kingdom of Love. The video of how me and her first met there. So be on the lookout for book 12 and my other series, Reality Imagination. I'm also working. I'm also working on some new projects that will bring your way soon now, and then all the contact and all that. And thank you, and God bless. And there's some pictures in that little section there. That's a picture of me with Christina and Casey when we went to see. We took That was a little selfie we took right before we saw the first Doctor Strange movie, and I had my Spider-Man jacket on there. Yep, and there you got Nisha and Camille from back then, and of course Angela there. Like I say, God rest her soul there. Yep. So yep. So that's it with book 11. Um. Gonna share. Trying to think. Should I go? Should I tell it to you now or wait till later? Um. I'm gonna tell it now. This not. It's not a whole lot, but just a little extra information. So when I got ready to write book 11, um, well, you know what? I tell you what. This would 'cause I think it'll be a lot better. So next time we're gonna read book 12, and once I finish reading book 12, then I'm gonna make a note of it. Once I finish reading book 12, then I'm gonna tell you guys some of the things behind the scenes that went on in trying to make book 11, story ideas that were going to happen before the final cut, and also some difficulties I had with a program that wasn't Photoshop, but it was something similar to Photoshop. And then when I got ready to write book 12, I got Photoshop then. So some stuff about that behind the scenes, as well as also what Heroes of Dream would have led to had the series continued on into like book 13, 14, and so on. And also a, a slight spin-off series was supposed to come too. But like I say, it'll be after. But book 12 will kind of make more of an explanation of that there. So until then, yep, we'll go and wrap this up here. I like to take care of some things here. Excuse me. So, yep, like what you saw, like what you heard and saw and everything. Definitely like, share, and subscribe. Get our available books that we have, and also definitely support us on the Patreon. Yes, please do that. Just like Iceman Universe does, and be sure to check out some of his stuff like Naruto, One Piece, and Spy Family, and even Ed and Eddie, Courage Cowardly Dog, and Hey Arnold. I just recently watched a few new episodes that he dropped of Hey Arnold full length there. But yeah, be sure to check all that out from him. And I gotta say, season 3 of Hey Arnold, there's a lot of episodes that are definitely like, oh yeah, I do remember seeing that there, and they are real good to rewatch there. So, especially with him reacting to it, he's got some real good and also really wholesome reaction to a lot of it there. Not saying nothing against other reactors. I'm like I say, because I do watch other reactors. Principal reacts, sort of stupid. Tim reacts, and some every so often a few others like Ultra Mac Man stuff like that. But I'm just stating, much like Principal reacts. Tim. One thing I really like about Iceman Universe, much like Principal, Brandon, they're out of all the reactors, theirs is probably the most wholesome and kind of their reactions. I probably would not mind, possibly showing, maybe not to like a toddler or nothing like that, but maybe like a small, like an elementary, at least an elementary child there. Because like I said, there's no I know a lot of the others I know it's because they're catering to adults. They're rewatching all this, but yeah, Principal reacts like the SpongeBob and stuff like that, or um, Iceman to things like Courage and Eddie and Hey Arnold. Real good reactors. If you want to have, if you're like elementary kids want to watch there. So and also definitely support the Miracle Crew. Uh, Yours truly, King Gabe, Big Sis Casey, Queen Tina, and of course EJ the Supreme. And definitely hang out, just like you hang out with us in the live streams. Also hang out with us on Discord and Facebook, and sell each other stuff on the McCary app. Probably I just made 2 videos that I'm gonna be getting up on Patreon soon, as soon as I can. So y'all can get an early view of them before they drop on YouTube, as well as also putting something new up on the McCary app for sale maybe possibly a few other things. But I do know there is one item I'm definitely got to get around to posting up there for for you guys to check out and possibly buy. So and yep, so yeah, like I said, Sally does some stuff on that McCary app, and we'll see y'all in the next video or live stream. Y'all take care, everybody. Peace out.